Today I want to tell you about something that a lot of the banks have been doing now. Actually, it's worldwide. The banks have voted themselves in a bail-in. You remember several years ago when the banks did all the bad debt, and the bad banks started buying up the good banks to get good debt. What the banks did was they went to the government to get a bailout, which was basically taxpayers' money. And the taxpayers had to bail out the banks, which should have never have happened. They should have just let the banks fail because it was their own fault. Well, now they voted themselves a bail-in. Actually, it's been a while now. They voted themselves a bail-in. They got the governments to agree to the banks could bail themselves in. Basically, what that means is if you have money in the bank, the next time they start going belly up, they can take your money and bail themselves out. Now, there's a couple of ways that they are planning on doing this, and one of those is they want to do a negative interest. And what negative interest does is they charge you for holding your money. They don't pay you interest rate anymore. They charge you an interest rate. Now, nobody's going to go for this. Everybody's going to withdraw all their money. So what they're doing is they're trying to do away with cash. Now, you may have actually heard of this before. It's in the Christian Bible. They predicted this a couple thousand years ago. The banks will actually do away with cash, and it'll be a cashless society. The banks are pushing for this now. They want to do away with all cash, so that when they start charging people interest rate, there's nowhere people to go. They can't take their money out, and they can't use cash anymore. And it's a plan that basically rips off the consumer. Now, a lot of people wonder, well, what can I do? And one of the things you can do is, like, instead of using a bank, you can use a credit union. Credit union actually gives the money back to its members. Everything is basically member-based, where a bank is stockholder-based. Whoever owns stock on it, or the corporate owners, they get everything out of the bank. Another thing that banks are starting to do is charge a lot of extra fees. For example, my bank used to write checks for me for free, and now they charge me $5.50 every time. They used to, I would go to the bank and get a bank statement, and they would do those statements for free, and now they want $7.50 for a statement. That is a rip-off. That's ripping off the customer. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go to a credit union. I'm tired of being ripped off by banks. A lot of credit unions will give you much better rates. Like I've been looking at one of the credit unions here, and the car loans is only a 1.75% interest rate, new or used car. They give you better rates on savings. The checking account I looked at for this credit union was, I think it was 0.3% interest, and the interest at my bank is like 0.05%, and that's probably going to go negative pretty soon. As soon as they can do away with cash, and they're working very hard at it right now. So if you got money in a bank, go to a credit union. Don't get ripped off by bank fees. Nobody needs to pay bank fees. They are not worth it. If you live in a large area, you may find several credit unions, and you can compare the rates between them. Some credit unions will only allow you in if you're like a member of a certain county, or if you're a member of churches in that county. I think the credit union here is if you're a member, if you live in the county, or go to a church in the county, or work in the county, it's like 3 or 4 counties, then they'll let you become a member. Or if you know somebody who already is a member, you can become a member. Some credit unions are work-based. If you work at this company, then you can become a member of that credit union. And if you're a relative works at that company. Just there's different things for different credit unions. They all have their own membership. So if you are not eligible, you might find somebody who is and get in the credit union that way. It could really save you a lot of money, especially in the future.